Namaste. So what I found worked for me was having some sort of daily practice, daily grounding or spiritual practice. For me, that meant even when I was very depressed, almost actually the only thing I was able to do, I remember rolling out my yoga mat. And I would just do a little bit of, at that time, sort of a gentle yoga. So pick a practice, something that makes you feel good, and really try to do it every day. Now I know, I understand if you're depressed, that can be very hard. But the point is that it actually really helps. It'll ground you. Okay, so just one thing, could be one simple thing. Maybe it's to make, I don't want to make it so simple that it doesn't have a real impact. So you have to decide for yourself. But I would recommend that it's something spiritual, religious, or feels nurturing to you. So pick something. Like I said, for me it was yoga. I actually was not able generally to even meditate at that time. And in fact, meditation, if you're sometimes if you're very depressed, meditation is not the first thing to do. Okay? So let me go to the next thing, and then I might double back. So one practice that you can commit to is the first tip, but it's something that makes you feel good, or as good as you can feel if you're depressed, right? I understand that, but something that you are able to do that does make you feel better, and try to do it every day at the same time. Okay, that's also really important. Like I did the yoga earlier in the day because that worked for me, and then it would help set up the whole day, okay, to be a little bit better. The other thing, and this is one that science has definitely shown, if you can get yourself to do some form of exercise. Now, depending on the severity of your depression, where you are, and this could conceivably fit into the first slot of a daily practice, just go for a walk. It does not have to be a long walk. I'm not saying, you're going to start training for a marathon, because if you are depressed, that might be hard, that's too big. Pick something small. So that also helped me, just going for walks. Now it helps, I think, particularly if you live in an area that has some nature. Again, studies coming out of Japan, you can Google it because they're particularly studying this. They have a word for it. And again, this is common sense. We humans co-evolved with nature. We are nature, right? We're not separate from nature. If you can get yourself into nature and have some physical activity, on the Western level, obviously you're moving your blood, you're moving your lymph system. You may not know, but the lymph system which flushes out toxins, flushes out gunk, it works when we move, when the muscles contract and release. So moving your blood, moving your lymph, you are going to feel better. Okay? I know if you're depressed, that's the part, is taking the step to do it. But okay, so let's see. So yeah, if you can just get out walking in nature. If you live in an urban area, if you're, because I know when I was depressed, and I've noticed this with other folks too, sometimes, especially if it's sunny out and you're depressed, you don't want to go out, and especially if there's a lot of people. So that's why I was mentioning, like, rural, if you're in a rural area, go out walking. But because I know sometimes if you're in an area where you're likely to run into a lot of people, and if you're depressed, you may not want that. So say maybe you have an exercise bike in your house and you could get exercise that way. I would hop on the bike or the treadmill if you can get yourself to do that. And if you're okay, if you can get yourself to go to the gym, put on some headphones and do some exercise that way, if you're in the city or in the suburbs. Yeah, so walking, especially if you can get to walking in nature, really, really, really healing. And if there's a particular type of nature you like, I like to be by the water, by like a stream or something like that. It's very, very healing for me, the sound of the flowing water. So maybe explore. And the third thing, again, it seems like a simple thing, but these things are so powerful. I've observed them in friends who've been depressed and in myself. If you can make a schedule for yourself, so meaning if you're depressed, don't stay up till 3 in the morning and then sleep in. As much as you can, schedule yourself. What that does, I'm going at it from an Ayurveda is the ancient medical system in India, and it's very much about lifestyle to maintain health, as is coming out of China, and even Taoism and Chinese medicine. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, and again, this is not theoretical, I've seen this. When I'm depressed, I tend to not have any sort of scheduling or any regularity. So what helps you to get back on a level ground is go to bed at a set time and not late. If you can go to bed, the ideal time is around 10 o'clock. And then if you can, force yourself to get up. Do whatever you have to do to get up rather than sleeping in. Okay, that's really important. But whatever you establish, keep that routine. So go to bed at 10, get up at 7 or 8. If you are working, obviously, then you have a set time. But I've seen depressed friends, and this fits with the Ayurvedic understanding, stay up late, quite late, and then sort of have to drag themselves into work, or like on the weekends they get into a weird schedule. Again, it depends on the severity of your depression and whether you are able to work. But as much as you can, give yourself a schedule that also abides with natural rhythm. What I mean by that is, again, not sleeping in late when the sun is up, not staying up super late. Also try to regularize your meals. Your breakfast is around the same time, your lunch, your dinner. And rather than sort of having it be a whim, oh, I don't feel like it, because again, that's when you're depressed, that's where you're going to want to fall into. See if you can really just, okay, this is when I eat breakfast, I eat my lunch, I eat my dinner. Okay, so these are 3 tips. Some sort of spiritual or grounding practice that makes you feel good, do it daily. Walking as exercise, or some form of exercise that you can do in your situation, wherever you live, that you're comfortable with. And finally, regularize your habits so that there is a routine to them. I hope this helps. I know, as I said, I don't do those things when I'm depressed. I've observed other people, and I've read a lot from the holistic perspective when people are depressed, what they fall into. So these tips are really meant to sort of naturally and holistically help support whatever you're doing to work with feeling depressed. And they certainly work if you're just sort of feeling down and it's like really, really temporary for you, then do these things and you will be able to snap out of it. Obviously, if you have more long-term depression, then it'll be a support to, as I said, all the other things that you will be doing. All right, hope this helps. Be well. Namaste. Namaste means the divine within me honors that same divine within you. Have a blessed day.